any glimmer of hope in this MagMa draft?
I heard our analyst talking about counterpicking, but I think they counterpick themselves with the Tusk as a core into draw range. Like, what is Tusk gonna do in the laning stage? That's my concern. And also, like, the other matchups where TB is playing into Mars, now he's playing into Leshrac. Brewmaster will get rid of the illusions. Abaddon will not get that much value. Most of the time, every single time the split is up, you just Cyclone that Abaddon, who's position 5, but you know, he deals a lot of stuff, removes the silences, removes the stuns. So looking like a really, really solid draft from Vici Gaming.
Alrighty, well, I guess we could do predictions. Vici.
Vici?
Vici.
Vici.
Okay, alrighty.
Veni,
We're going to
vidi,
throw it
vici.
over to our casters. Beak up on Lacoste. Take it away for game number 2.
Game number 2 here between MagMa and Vici. Looking very Vici favored based on the draft. I would say probably 80-20. If I had to give a percentage.
You're just being generous right now, Beak Up, because this one looks like a clear outdraft. Yeah, one hero I've completely forgot about is Shadow Demon. So you can use it as a saving tool once they go in with like Void Spirit, with the Tusk. You can also make illusions out of the Terrorblade. Man, this is a scary looking lineup. You have a ton of tower damage coming out from the Drow Ranger, Leshrac with the Edict. I'm just very concerned. This game, you know, could end in 25 minutes if Vici Gaming comes out, let's say, 3k gold lead after the laning stage. It's a very snowbally lineup.
It also goes back to that Terrorblade on Shylock. We talked about how he played with that hero previously and how he had stayed pretty conservative, tried to farm, didn't want to fight as much. Like, I don't think you get away with that against this lineup.
It's going to be tough. It's just overall a tough matchup, and I feel like they outdrafted themselves when you could have like 5 heroes for Vici Gaming as the last pick. It could have been Ember, it could have been Puck. It felt like really, really good, and they had no answers for those. So you know something is wrong with your draft.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to go and counter this draft off, but anything is possible. Any draft can work. We've seen it work before. I guess the question is, can MagMa execute it? It's going to be tough. We've talked about how Vici feel like one of the stronger teams in the region, so going up against a team like Vici, trying to make a draft like this work is going to be no easy feat. So we'll see what they can do. PYW, meanwhile, getting the courier kill. Kaz a little sad that he's got no courier to work with. It's TZY on the Tusk, which they're swapping the lanes. They're walking. Just in case the swap back happens, you TP.
Man,
it's a long walk.
It's just tough. If they decide to keep this tri-lane, have Mars on the top, just getting the solo XP, but Shylock already moving with his TB to the top lane, it's too much pressure. You know, a lot of kill potential, a bunch of slows. So Drow Ranger should have an easy time no matter what she's laning against.
This is already looking a little bit rough. TB 0-0 up to this point.
So is Tusk. So 2 cores. Remember, 0 CS, 2 minutes in.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. TZY, I've seen him on this Tusk in the past. It was back, I think when MagMa was first formed, he was trying to play this Tusk quite a bit. It's been okay for him. It's just, it seems like in a lineup like this against what Vici have, I don't know if it's going to succeed much. That's for sure. Especially with just a handful of CS. Not even a handful, 2.
It's a rough one for sure. Mid lane, pretty even so far. Void Spirit got
DY Snowball
pushed quite a lot.
Pops the salve, almost first blood. Almost making it work out over
it counts like 3 times, almost the first blood. You actually get the money for the first blood. That's how it works.
I didn't know that.
One more almost. This is the second courier already dying.
Yeah, and that's
for
the Bracer
MagMa.
recipe.
So 60 times, that's 300 gold. Straight right there.
Is that similar to the 4 staffs and you win rule? The 3 almost and you get first blood?
the unwritten rules of Dota.
Yeah, nowhere to be found on the Dota 2 wiki or anything like that.
You can find it on dark web, like Dota/dark web, whatever.
You'll find these rules. So 17-1, now 2 for the Leshrac, 16-4 for the Mars. Old 11 doing a good job up against this TV Phoenix combination. With PYW on the Shadow Demon, we really haven't seen Shadow Demon much at all. What's like the build we see from Shadow Demons these days?
Aether Lens, like that's the item you want to have for the cast range. Possibly get a Glimmer Cape maybe this time around. Getting a Blink Dagger after that sounds really nice, where you can just use it offensively on TB during the meta. Like their lineup is very, very limited how they can just start a fight. Like who's gonna go in? Void Spirit, that's it, and you're playing into Leshrac, into Shadow Demon. Like Snowball could be the thing, but you do not want to initiate with that ability. Oh, that's
from Ori.
Very low, dropping very low dust.
Almost got the kill there again. Almost. Not getting first blood.
So Leshrac denied the rune, right?
Yeah. Ooh, Shylock, he might be the one who finally drops here. Body blocks from Old 11. Just doesn't have the damage. These heroes scraping by with a minuscule amount of health. Nobody wants to give up first blood just yet.
They have no regen left on the top lane. Look at Young 11. He has a bottle, he has a healing salve, couple of tangos, one healing salve on Shadow Demon, while your Phoenix has a Fairy Fire and Urn. Yeah, first you need to get the kills, you know, to have those healing charges.
So we'll see if he can fill up that urn. Old 11. Is he getting a bottle shipped out again? Or well, he's got the bottle on PYW, so I believe, yeah. Looking to refill that bottle, pick up the bounty rune, does so. He gets to leave the lane while Mars stays in, gets experience, gets the CS, and gets his bottle filled. That's
value.
That's support.
Such a bro thing to do.
Is a very
and most
team-oriented.
Importantly, Mars is getting solo experience, so once he hits level 6, that's like unplayable. TB, he doesn't have a lane to go to. Level 4 at the moment. Yeah, maybe I hit a creep on a mid lane. Okay, so they want to put some pressure. Leshrac is level 5, not level 6 yet. Seems pretty dead.
They're going after him mid. The disruption. Ori, one more shot. There it is. Shylock gets the kill. Finally taking out Ori, who had a chance at first blood, but played Ring Around the Rosie with Kaz, who eventually denied himself to neutral. So first blood does end up going into the hands of MagMa, but that's quite a number of rotations over mid to make it happen.
It's worth it. Like, Shylock didn't have the lane to go to, so he goes to the mid lane, tries to make stuff happen, you know, put a bit of a pressure with that level 2 meta. Leshrac's still not level 6, so he's not gonna deal that much damage.
Kaz with
really impressed that Void Spirit got level 6 before Leshrac.
Considering how the lane is going, where, you know, Leshrac seems pretty far ahead. Disruption should line up the stun, but has the dissimulate. Now the Astral Step going after Ori. Hits the Aether Remnant.
He
Ori
goes
in
back
trouble.
in. Oh man, what a player.
They burn him out. Now looking for PYW, the jump all the way across the river. A couple of stacks of the poison on him, though. Ooh. Almost a 4th stack, which I think would have done the damage, right? Oh, there's the 4th stack. Looking for a 5th.
I think he needs one more.
Yeah.
It's
just a little bit.
Just one more was needed because it's level 2 Shadow Poison. You know, I don't know the exact number because math is not my strongest side, but the feeling, you know, when you're playing Dota, how much damage you can deal, you're like, yeah, I need one more.
Yeah. I didn't have the feeling. I said it was 4. Got to work on that. Old 11 up top, still sitting top of the net worth at the moment. Double damage being held on to. Snowball going for Erica. Rolls over DY. Astral Step, Aether Remnant. Now they've locked him up, but they got the silence on to 2 with the Gust. Another Astral Step to get Dust out of here, but TZY, he'll drop. This Void Spirit doesn't have much mana to play with. They bring 4 heroes bottom. I believe they want to go after this tier 1 and take it out.
Not sure if he needed to deny that catapult. He could have just tanked the tower hit instead and killed this tower much easier, but you know, you have a last frag, so the tower's gonna fall off. Nevertheless, also every single time I see a Drow Ranger with 3 raid bands that just screams, try hard, because he really wants to win, you know. More than 2 is just the typical try harder.
You're on the other
Can't
team,
blame
you're all
him.
chatting that?
No. I mean, I say it, but it doesn't actually come out. I say it inside of myself, you know, just keep those words in. You do not want to be toxic, but this is what we all mean when you see this, like...
Got to keep that 10,000 behavior score. DY behind them, only level 4. About a minute away from the 10-minute mark. We'll see who takes the tome. PYW at level 5. So, again, it becomes a question of if he can get that 6 before we're ready to go. However, now Mian hit with the spear during the Icarus dive. They've lined it up. They'll get the stun, then the kill. Now they'll look for a second tower. Tier 1's mid and bottom are gone. Meanwhile, with the meta used by Shylock, he's trying to get a tier 1 of his own, but he's pressured back by DY. And just DY.
Oh, bottom lane. TZY pinging it out. Like, I want to get level 6 before I go. Drow Ranger with the TP out. Seems
Shard,
pretty
snowball.
dead.
In the Astral Step, they brought Shylock over. Yeah, very dead, like you said. He was almost pretty slick there.
That
Throwing
was
that
close,
gust, but...
you know. Needs to hit other heroes. Void Spirit was also there, ready to use the Remnant.
I thought if he backed up more into the lane, he might have gotten out, but he went into the trees and kind of locked himself in, right? So we'll see Tusk. They've smoked up. Tusk, played by TZY with Dust and Kaz. PYW shows himself over mid for a second. DY now going after Mian. They land the stun. Ori, though, with the damage. The Icarus diving down. The snowball coming through onto the Leshrac. They only had 1 inside the snowball, but it's not going to matter. They hit the Walrus Punch, and they get the kill onto Lesh.
This is what you want to get when you're playing against the Brewmaster, his split being used and not getting anything out of that. It's a really long cooldown, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. So you know it's going to be a long time until it's up again. Feels like a freebie tower on the top lane. They use a glyph. Glyph will reset after the tier 1 falls. Like, there's just too many heroes at the moment.
Yeah.
Man, chipped vest. What a bad tier 1 item. 28 damage to heroes and 17 to creeps. Like, the best part of the item is actually the HP regeneration.
Yeah, 3.5. It's not bad. 3.5 HP regen. But, like you've been saying, not the best tier 1 item.
I found some value when you have Legion Commander, when you have Axe in the team, they get the Blink Dagger, you know, the return damage is gonna feel much better, lower them their HP for the Culling Blade, or just get that dual damage. Another setup.
Ooh, looking for the stun, but the snowball in time. Walrus Punch with the spear. Ori getting blown up again. TZY on the run, traded off by PYW, but they kill the Leshrac consecutive times and slowing down those boots of travel, slowing down the progression that we've been seeing from Ori, and opening up more space for Shylock.
This is the second time Ori does not use Splitter on Disruption. Frame perfect, so gives enough opportunity to Tusk to actually use the Snowball, and in the previous one, Void Spirit used the Simulate. It's hard to execute, but you know, seeing Ori the way he plays, kind of have expectations that he's gonna do it 10 out of 10 times.
He's missed a couple already, and that has cost him his life here a few times. They've smoked up again, TZY, Dust, and Kaz. This has been the trio of heroes that they've been using to move around the map. It's been opening up the map for Shylock, who's now top of the net worth. We've talked about him on this hero. He spent a lot of time farming the last time he played it. Now the snowball coming through onto Erica. He's pulled in to help. Walrus Punch and the kill again. Kaz takes Erica's life, Drow gone, and it's just more and more space for Shylock on the Terrorblade.
2 nice kills on the Drow Ranger, because they need Shadow Demon. Like, to be there, TP is not gonna even save him, because there's too much damage. Tag team, maxed out, with the 3 heroes hitting him, you just melt. So now they're making some aggressive moves, trying to push in the mid tier 1 tower. Brewmaster has ulti ready, so they should be careful about it.
Still seems like a tough fight for Vici to take, even with the Brew split. Mars probably wanting something to work with, to initiate on this side of MagMa. But MagMa for right now, they're doing a good job. I would say the only thing that kind of worries me is TV's at the top of the net worth, that's fine. But the fall off from Void Spirit to Tusk is a lot. This Tusk has less gold than PYW at the moment.
That's a rough one. A lot of that gold is concentrated on TB. And we know what happens when you have like one super farm hero while the rest are not keeping up. Especially when you have Brewmaster in the team, so you can just cyclone that one guy.
Yeah, take a lot of that net worth out of the fight. Make sure that it can't participate. TB all of a sudden struggling to get involved. And the rest of the team, when they don't have a lot of net worth, they really don't have a lot of survivability either. So that could be a problem. Kaz going into the Vlads. Going straight into it. He's level 6. He's only died one time. Just farming the jungle as best he can. Dust going Orchid. So Phase Boots, Orchid for the Void Spirit. And then, of course, TCY with the Blink.
We see different builds on Void Spirit, either a Yule Scepter, possibly an Orchid. I think you get a lot of value from Orchid, but still you're playing into one silence, you're playing into stuns. So would prefer if this is an actual Yule Scepter, and yeah, Yule Scepter just feels the best item on all of the spirits on the Void Spirit, because you know you have that initiation, you can dodge it, Yule Scepter into Remnant. I guess he wants to be able to scale a bit more with this type of a build. You know, deal more right-click damage.
See if that ends up making a difference. Going for the Orchid over the Yule. Spear thrown from old 11. He's trying to build himself the Yules. The shards come out. The arena is down. PYW getting low. It's a decent arena with a good supernova, making this difficult for Vici to fight into. They get the kill into PYW, and that is all for now. DY's committed the Primal Split. The Cyclone's not on Shylock. It's actually on an illusion. And still, MagMa looking for their opportunity to reinitiate. DY, he is the scapegoat for this one, but I'm not sure he's the only one who ends up dead, if at all. They get that kill on old 11. They take out a second. Vici have to retreat. They lose 2, and MagMa move forward again.
Something we did not talk about is that Vici Gaming, they don't have egg hitters. Like, that's the problem. You're not going to see Drow Ranger just hitting it egg while there's Tusk who can easily defend it, possibly a Remnant from the Void Spirit. So this is the issue that they're gonna have. We've also seen in the previous fight that Tusk needs to be careful about using the snowball, because there could be a really good arena setup and then you can't get out of it, putting yourself in a really bad spot. But yeah, they need more time, I feel like, on Vici Gaming, where they need to farm up. Right now they invested 2,000 gold in Leshrack's Boots of Travel, so that's not a fighting item. You want to get more out of the map, split push a bit, leave your jungle to the other heroes to be able to recover.
Normally you see Drow lineups and you think they're only good for the early parts of the game.
Oh, they're not. Now, Drow Ranger is one of the better late game heroes for sure.
It seems like that. It's kind of like a misnomer that people think about when they see Drow lineups. Like, if they don't get it done early, it's just not going to happen. So, you know, there's still time for Vici, especially with the Leshrack. You lose a fight on MagMa, he could take your buildings very quickly, put that pressure on, and really make this potentially a problem for the Radiant side. But that's if they win these fights. They've been on the heels for the most part. 11 finds TZY, has that Yules finished off. There's the arena, misses the spear. They've got the snowball. That'll hit onto the Mars. TZY now silenced. Erica comes in, but there's the Astral Step coming through from Dust, as well as the Aether Remnant. That locks him up. Tag team into the Walrus Punch. They land the stun. Coming out for those Leshrack. Erica's staying alive for a moment, but there's the Miscoil to finish off this Drow. They throw the spear over onto Dust, finish off the Void Spirit. 2 heroes gone, make it a third. Kaz is dead and gone. Done and dusted, and a triple kill for Ori. That is really going to help excel his farm.
Still, I feel Shadow Demon needs to be the one TPing first. His TP was the last in that fight. It was like 8-second TP on an outpost. You want to have him first to be able to set things up with the disruption, possibly save a Drow Ranger, and with the Demonic Purge you can buy enough time for someone else to come in. So they should try to work on that, because it's a pretty big deal. I mean, your Drow Ranger died once again in that fight. Yes, Ori got a lot. He got a triple kill from that, so a lot of levels on top of it. Now has the Boots of Travel and the Yule Scepter. Eternal Shroud. Alright. I don't think they have too much magical damage. Most of their damage, you know, is going to come from the TB, Void Spirit. Sure, I want to see how this one goes.
You'll see if the Shroud is worth it on Ori. So level 13, moving around the map. Like you said, Boots of Travel and the Yules. Now the Orchid finished on Void Spirit. Played aggressive up towards top and ended up paying for it. The Orchid might have been the difference. Arena down from old 11, and that's defensive. It's just to leave. Seems like Mars isn't exactly having the game that, you know, you usually enjoy. You're usually the initiator, but using these arenas to kind of take a step back and not fight into this MagMa side of the mode.
Oh, Scan Dire, they know. Look at the high ground. Position 5 Brewmaster is like, sure, you know, I'll tank that smoke. I'll trade it.
Smoke for the 5.
There's
usually
a possibility, you know, if they get one more kill to just go inside the pit. Oh, Shadow Demon caught TB. Mars again misses the spear.
And he's not landing these spears. They've got the Walrus Punch putting it through. Old 11's
I think you go
dead.
inside the Roche pit right now. You have meta, you have tag team, so that's a ton of damage, and you should use it. Like, you should make something happen out of this meta. TB just running around. Like, look at where the heroes are from Vici Gaming.
They're paying it out.
This is a wasted meta. It could have easily been a Roshan. People seem to underestimate how much damage you deal with the tag team.
Before the TP goes off, they did ping it. I'm surprised. I might have...
Mian was inside the pit. He was the one ready to go, but, you know, Phoenix doesn't deal that much Roshan damage. But one thing that's going well for him is this Hand of Midas that is actually paying off. Level 12, so you need 8 hits to kill the egg, and you're getting the levels working towards the Hex. Roshan damage. But one thing that's going well for him is this Hand of Midas that is actually paying off. Level 12, so you need 8 hits to kill the egg, and you're getting the levels working towards the Hex, which is going to be a pretty big item coming out from your position 4.
Considering the fact that we already talked about, you know, Vici lacking egg hitters, Walrus Punch, PYW, Disruption. Now they'll bring in Ori. The stun's not going to land. Kaz on the front lines. They take out the Shadow Demon. Icarus dive into the Supernova. Do they have the right clicks to pop the egg? It's not looking likely. This is looking really bad for Vici. The egg goes off. Old 11's gone. TZY right on top of Ori. This Leshrac soon to fall. The Icarus dive over him. DY back to form. And Ori stopped by those shards of TZY, but they're not diving past the tower just yet. Astral Step comes in from Dusk, cleaning up here, taking out Ori. DY's here with Erica, who's made the rotation in. He's silenced and now on the run with the BKB pop by Shylock. Gives up on his approach for Erica and tries to TP away instead. So they don't get the Brew, they don't get the Drow, but they do take a very good fight, and they now have a little bit of a net worth lead.
Still surprised Vici tried to go for that egg. If you want to hit the egg, you still need a Drow Ranger. Drow Ranger was just farming the Ancients, not being in that fight, and they definitely need her if they want to hit an egg like that. Still going to be a huge problem because none of these heroes deal well with that.
So we take a look at where this fight is. Shard's keeping Old 11 out for the most part. He has to walk all the way around. PYW is the first one to fall in this fight. Borrowed time. Kaz stays alive. You've got the Supernova. They hit it a couple times, but they just don't have the follow-up for it. It explodes. Old 11, he's the second one to fall. They focus their attention on Ori. I'm a little surprised that this kill took so long.
Eternal Shroud. You know,
Shards
you get that spell lifesteal 20%. A bit of magic resistance, and when you're taking the damage, you turn that damage into mana, which Leshrac always needs.
Seemed like Erica just came in too late for that fight. He gets away alive, but it certainly could have turned on its head had he died. That fight feels so good for MagMa.
If egg doesn't go off, if Erika is there with 3 hits on the egg, could have made a whole lot of difference.
Yeah. But instead, the game sits even. MagMa back and forth with this. A little bit of a net worth lead, 14-8 in their favor. They've got Scotty being built on the Terrorblade and BKB for the Void Spirit. So they're working on some big power spike items. And Vici, they, again, are just fighting on their heels. Always seeming like they have to react to what MagMa's doing and not being the aggressors.
That's what I was about to say. It feels like the story of this game is we're trying to bring numbers when it's already too late.
Yeah.
Like, we're not there with the heroes on time. So now they smoke up. 4-hero rotation. Ori already there, trying to make a setup with the Yule Scepter possibly.
They've smoked up. It's just the Phoenix now. However, Shylock has been disrupted. Can they get the kill to the TB? They've got a Gust. The BKB's been popped. Now Shylock trying to turn around and get that Sunder off. He's too slow, though, and will turn back towards the base. So he's safely out. I believe he did Sunder, so now he's looking maybe to fight. Defend this tier 2 tower. Vici have committed so far.
Ori almost died to Tusk and Phoenix. Just the initiation with the tag team plus a Volrus punch. Ori's still rather squishy, even though he's like, what, 2000 HP, 18 armor at the moment, but Sunray kind of burns him.
Yeah. It is fire. Does do that. But it is going right through him. It just, again, there from Vici. Good reactions from MagMa. Vici feeling like they're missing something to get these fights. Like that smoke, they could have killed Shylock. They didn't commit. They didn't want to dive in too far. What's missing from their game right now?
I think a bit of aggressiveness and that one extra hero that they needed to bring in the previous few fights.
Yeah.
But MagMa, I don't think it's the same team from the previous game, from the previous series as well. You know, where there was no good moves being made after 20-25 minute mark. So far, they're doing really well. You know, they understand, like, DB is our win condition. We're just going to let him farm. He's going double Scotty. That's what he has queued up. Probably not going to go for it, but one Scotty is enough, for sure.
Still looks better than maybe going Armlet. Previous game. But yeah, Scotty, not too far away from it. It's still a decent ways out, but he's already got that first ulti orb. And he's just getting a lot of time to work with, so wouldn't expect it to take all too long, especially with the way MagMa are making space for him. They're up 1,000, and you've got the Orchid, BKB, almost done for Void Spirit, Dust. He's quite close, and TCY is also going for BKB.
And you need it on the cores, like you want to be able to scale most of the damage. Is Leshrac Mars? You know, Draw Ranger still deals some, but you want to cover yourself against these cores that deal the most. So, yeah, BKB is a natural choice here.
Very quiet for the moment. That Midas really paying off for the Phoenix.
He's level 16 and a half.
TZY, he turns this around, goes for the snowball, blinks out of the arena that gets used. That is, again, a defensive arena, and it doesn't catch anybody. Unfortunate for Hold 11 again.
This is the move that they should have made a long time ago on MagMa. Get that Roshan, like tag team. They have Vlads. Look at how fast it falls. Imagine if they had DB meta on top of that. Like, it's just too much damage in a short period of time. Vici Gaming, they know something is up.
They want to go for this. Cinder Brew laid down, but there's the silence with the BKB pop by Dust. They'll go after this Brewmaster, who is safe for the moment, but the Supernova, all 11 already dead, and now Vici need a retreat. They've used the Primal Split. Backing off, though, is Erika. Hit with the Walrus Punch. The chase is on from TZY as well as Shylock and the rest of MagMa. The stun from Ori hits up the tusk. They get the kill on a TZY.
It's a good fight for Vici now.
Is still getting saved by PYW. His positioning is perfect. They get the kill on a Man. They look over at Dust. Erica finally falls to this Void Spirit, but he'll die in return. BKB as well as the Metamorphosis doing a lot of damage for Shylock, who will now eventually try to TP out. The BKB doesn't last long enough, though. They've got the Yules into the air as well as the stun. Now the Sunder comes in from Shylock. Kaz trying to do all he can to save him, but the disruption's in again from PYW. They'll look to try and retreat again now without TPs, so it's very tough for MagMa to get out of this one. They'll finish off Kaz. They don't get Shylock. The buyback's committed from TZY, and Vici, what looked like a bad fight initially for them as Old 11 drops immediately. It turned sour for MagMa, and Vici turned it around.
Yeah, Roshan is half HP right now, so they might consider going back in. They know there's no mana, there's no egg. Full Hex down on Phoenix. 27 minutes in. I love how MagMa approached this fight. Like, they use aggressive egg. They know the Drow Ranger will be the one trying to hit the egg. So Tusk was saving the snowball, then uses it straight onto Drow Ranger. She needs to fall back immediately.
Yeah, they looked for Erica to start that.
Shadow Demon, you're gonna get so much value out of this hero against the TB. Item build is correct. Let's see if they can find any initiation. Blink Dagger already used.
Oh, there's
surprised by the
Hex.
Hex.
Sunray right on top of the Mars. Snowball is looking to hit this Mars as well. Old 11 throws down the arena. That'll keep him away from Vici, but the damage from Ori still looks to want to go in. You've got Mian sitting quite low, as is Kaz. Shylock under half health. Vici don't want to commit without their Mars, especially funneling in onto the high ground where they were. Could have been a difficult fight to take.
Dire using a scan. Brewmaster split ready in 2 seconds. Still feel they want to go in, take this fight. There it is. Split
Cinder
committed.
Brew, Primal split. They're inside Roche, committing for it for a moment. The Dissimulate from the Void Spirit does trying to get away. There was an Aether Remnant down. PYW over to the side. They've got the Cycle onto TZY, but they've got the Silence on a PYW. They found the Shadow Demon. They also used the Supernova. Stun comes in from Ori. DY getting low in this last Panda, and he will die. Both the supports are gone, but they both buy back immediately for Vici, so Roshan's still an option for Vici to try and really take or fight MagMa at.
No egg, but they have meta up, so that's going to be a big deal. Shadow Demon needs to be very careful about his positioning, because he is the key. Like, he's dealing so much with the disruption. Either on TB wants to be in those prolonged team fights. That's not going to be taken out early.
On Old 11 with the Walrus Punch. She got bashed initially by Roche, backed off into the Aether Remnant. That's a big one to lose, dead for 44 seconds. That means no arena for Vici. Things still looking tough. Aether Remnant, lots of PYW. The damage on the Shylock slows him down. And Erica trying to move forward. The damage, the Sunder, it's not a lot of life, as they'll come through with the Pulse Nova and now get that kill on a Dust. Erica gets at least one. They're on the high ground once again. The Snowball save hits onto the Brewmaster, but Kaz trying to run, not in time. Both him and TZY drop. Erica with the triple kill. Now it's another day for MagMa as they lose this Phoenix. BKB from Shylock. The damage from Erica just not enough.
Not enough. Maybe Ori could have committed, you know, one extra hit, get close. Edict was already running, but 2 buybacks committed. Now Dust also commits for a buyback, but they're not going to get anything out of that. So 2 buybacks inside of Vici Gaming. They will secure the Roche. Shadow Demon is, I'd say, the strongest hero on the map right now, because he is using TB strength against him, and this is exactly what he needs to do. Like, also, I want to see BKB built on Mars somehow. It's really costing him all his deaths. He doesn't have a defensive tool. Yeah, Yule Scepter, but once you come down, you're 100% dead if there's no disruption on you. But at this point, I don't think you can afford to, you know, allow Shadow Demon to use defensive disruptions. Instead, he needs to be aggressive, use it on TB during the meta, pop the Soul Catcher and Demonic Purge.
Primal split. BKB's been popped by Dust. Bottom, and he's slowed down thanks to the Shadow Demon. Dust trying to find some space. Aether Remnant locks up Old 11, and he's able to dissimulate onto the high ground. They catch Shylock for a moment with the disruption. DY is still in the Primal split form for just 3 seconds longer. TZY moving forward. Last second stun is DY back to form and running towards the Tier 1 tower bottom. So they get the BKB out from the Void Spirit now. Just 7 seconds. BKB for Shylock's already at 5 seconds.
Shylock is not afraid to pop that BKB. 0 deaths on him. Man,
Yeah.
he's playing really well. Even if he feels threatened, there's still a Baton, Tusk Snowball, Sunray, you know, to help him out. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to see a bit earlier Aghanim Scepter on him. He has Blink Dagger, but yeah, Aghanim Scepter, a lot of value.
Switches it, as you were saying that, to the MKB. We'll see which one he ends up committing for.
He saw Eagle Song on Drow Ranger, so
Old
he's
11
like, I
hexed
need
up.
MKB.
They've got the Sunray, Cinder Brew to try and deter, but it's not going to be enough, and they'll get the kill into Old 11. He has been just bullied in this game. 0-7 and 7.
I think he's going for 0-11 score. Trying to find a way to change his nickname.
Yeah, it used to be Young 11, now Old 11. Could change it to 0-11. The Remnant not going to grab
Very close.
Ori.
Here's 0 and 7 right now.
So, Shrek. Second under the net worth, not too far behind the TB, who it seems like Shylock's had a lot of time to just farm. He's kept the top of the net worth for a while, but it's being contested. It's close. Finally close. It felt like Shrek was behind for a while. MKB still queued up for Terrorblade.
No one has a shard yet. 0, yeah, actually 0 shards. You know, it just shows that shards are really OP on some of the heroes. I think we need a patch where others are gonna get buffed, or the ones that are OP will be nerfed. And it also shows that it's not an item, you know, to just straight up go for. In 95% of the time, there will be a better item choice for you.
Yeah, Shard is definitely one of those luxury items.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You got to think about
Dire's top
the
tower is under attack.
cost benefits.
Radiant structures are
1,400 gold that you're committing. Is it enough to warrant spending that kind of gold when maybe you're close to something else? Holding on to that gold.
For supports, it could be like a medallion plus a buyback. So do you want to invest in Shard? Vici Gaming, pushing the high ground. Do the backdoor protection.
Trying to push through. Shiva's finished for the Leshrac. Snowball coming in. And now TZY is in a bit of a bad spot. They've got the arena down as well as the spear onto the Phoenix. They get the kill on TZY as well as MagMa. The Phoenix has buyback. Borrowed time popped on Kaz. He's on the run, but not too far out of the hands of Vici. So 3 gone. Buyback used by the Phoenix. This is not a good look for MagMa trying to hold the high ground. Now backdoor is deactivated. Blink Spear misses. Now the Hex comes through from the Phoenix onto the Mars. Multi-shot and a Shylock just pushing back this TV.
One thing I have to say about this, why TZY? But why would you do that? He just aggressively snowballed in while the rest of the team is not there to back him up.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually a game-losing moment.
Snowballs in and then immediately dies afterwards. And it pulled him way far away from his team. It's tough for Tusk to make something happen without his team to back him up. And then it caused, I believe, MagMa to just be pulled out of position.
Stuff like this, what just happened is really easy, you know, to make it happen.
Yeah. Really, really tough for TZY. He's got 0 kills. 0, 7, and 17. Could go 0 and 11. Maybe he changes his name.
It's a possibility. Now, Mars has a BKB, so it's going to be much easier for him to just stand his ground against the Orchid, against all of these spells. Sunray, possibly a Sunder. So, yeah. I think Young 11 is kind of covered in that department.
Damage bottom. That's going to be picked up by Erica. And they've got the medallion on Kaz. Just not sure that's going to be a game changer on this one. After picking up the double damage, they go into the smoke. They'll head through mid. Old 11 has that blink. He's been looking to land a blink spear. Some of them, or most of them, have been off the mark up to
11
this
is ready.
point.
Let's see if Tusk has any of the special moves ready.
Blink, BKB, and holds the arena, throws the spear onto the Phoenix. That's a big one,
Good
but the
snowball
snowball
save.
save. Let's see if this allows the Supernova to go off. It's an Icarus dive towards the backlines. It'll cost TZY his life. The arena is down and trouble for MagMa. But he gets the Supernova off, and Erica's too far away to kill it. So it goes off. It doesn't affect the side of Vici at all. They're able to retreat quickly enough. Go to the tier 3 tower, and they'll look to take it out. They do so very quickly.
Double damage Drow Rangers is just too much damage at this point. Tusk is in, Snowball.
Walrus Punch, Snowball, Hex onto the Drow, but the Disruption save. Look at where PYW is saving heroes from. He's untouched by MagMa. Erica is able to jump away, but the Astral Step. They get the kill onto Poyoyo. They take out Dust. Shylock is gone. Everybody dead on the side of MagMa, however, even though they've lost that Drow. This is looking like it's all over, and there is the GG call. Vici 2-0 MagMa. It falls a little bit short for this MagMa team in Game 2.
Yeah, you can still see the clear difference in general understanding what you need to do post like 20-25 minutes into the game. If the game's not going well for you, Vici Gaming a more experienced team, so you know, kind of expecting them to take over this series. MagMa, they need to go back. They need to ask Tusk like, what did you do? Why did you do that? Because it's one extra fight, you know. Things can go both ways, but it didn't. And Vici Gaming just showing that they're in a very good shape.
Yeah, it looked like there were some things there from MagMa that they can pull away and be happy about, but other things that maybe they need to really work on, especially shot calling seems to be one of them.
That's the biggest problem.
Was a bit of an issue in those last couple of fights. MagMa, hopefully they take something away from this. It's still a 2-0 for Vici. All 5 of us correct this time. But let's hear what the analysts have to say. We'll throw it back over to the panel. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, B-Cup and Lacoste. Yeah, one